Greetings. Introducing Voices of Festival, a brand new podcast series from the International African Arts Festival, created to keep you connected as we count down to our 55th year of culture, creativity, and community. Each week, hear directly from the artists, dancers, musicians, vendors, and community members who make this festival an unforgettable experience. Tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. on YouTube for Voices of Festival. Celebrate the culture, feel the rhythm, be part of the journey.
Peace, everyone. Alafio. Greetings. Welcome to another episode of Voices of Festival. I am your host today. My name is Sakina Nzinga Kennard, and it is a pleasure to be with you. We have a wonderful show this evening. Our topic is conscious hip hop and its community empowerment. We are featuring a guest. His name is Blue Pilar, aka Blue Pill, aka Paul Moreland. So we will get into it. But before I bring him on, of course, we must take care of our libations, our honoring of our ancestors. Here in this Pan-African experience, we honor those who come before us. So I say Ibaye Bayentanu, which is a Yoruba term, which means we give honor and we give praise. So I give honor and I give praise to our freedom fighters, our community leaders, those whose shoulders we stand upon. So please stay with me. Ibaye Bayentanu. Brother Abubadika, Ibaye, Mama Kahumba, Ibaye, Mama Asada Shakur, Ibaye, Brother G2 Wayusi, Ibaye, Baba Stan Kennard, Ibaye, Nana Denizulu, Ibaye, Nana Kweku Owusu Aboje, Ibaye, Onipa Abuzia, Ibaye, Baba Abu Bakar, Ibaye, Nana Kweya Aji Apom, Ibaye, Brother Bernard Kinsey, Ibaye, Ia Salima Moyo, Ibaye, Victoria Santa Cruz, Ibaye, Brother Litana Egungun, Ibaye, Dr. Sabi, Ibaye, Hugh Masakela, Ibaye, Brother Bob Law, Ibaye, Sister Muntu Law, Ibaye, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ibaye, Mama Stephanie Weaver, Ibaye, Baba Lloyd Weaver, Ibaye, Baba Lafia Shango Dei, Ibaye, Baba Chief Bay, Ibaye, Baba Rabo Juma Tatu, Ibaye, Mama Amanisha, Ibaye, Mama Lottie, Ibaye, Mama Bird, Ibaye, Yusuf Imam, Ibaye, Dara Imam, Ibaye, Mama Robinson, Ibaye, Mama Betty Carter, Ibaye, Baba Kwame Ishangi, Ibaye, Baba Michael Olatunji, Ibaye, John Hicks, Ibaye, Nisa Van Zandt, Ibaye, Jamia Van Zandt, Ibaye, Kuja Bendele, Ibaye, Baba Dick Gregory, Ibaye, Imam Jamil Al Amin, aka H. Rat Brown, Ibaye, Sister Viola Plummer, Ibaye, Brother MZ Moyo, Ibaye, Baba Canute Bernard Jr., Ibaye, Mama Sandra Hay, Ibaye, Danny Mixon, Ibaye, Randy Weston, Ibaye, Baba Aluka Shea Wally, Ibaye, Mama Abimbola Wally, Ibaye, Baba Paua, Ibaye, Baba Heru, Ibaye, to all those Egun, those ancestors whose shoulders we stand upon, our community leaders. We give honor and we give praise to you. And we thank you for the struggle. We thank you for the work that you have done in the world. And we look forward to continuing your legacy on. Ibaye to all of you. Ibaye Bayentanu. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ashe. Multiply. I give honor and I give praise. And I would like to bring on our guest, Brother Blue Pilar, Mr. Paul Moreland. Peace, brother. How are you? Oh, you're on mute. Unmute, unmute, unmute.
Peace, love, and light. It's an honor to be in great company with the illustrious names of the ancestors that were just read. Um, may anything that I do, say, or look forward to completing, may it be pleasing in the eyes of my ancestors. May I be able to add on just an iota of the magnificent work that was done to get us here. And I guess that's why we speak about festival. We speak about festival. It's when we take litmus tests on community to see where we're
Mm-hmm.
at as a people, to remind ourselves of the memories and to keep that chain unbroken. So I'm a child of festival. I want to say thank you for this illustrious honor of joining you on your platform to speak about festival.
Yes,
And
indeed.
it's June. Festival season is here, so
Exactly. It's an honor to have you
excited.
on. And for those of you listening in, looking in as to why we start that way, growing up Pan African, we honor our ancestors. We honor those who come before us, and that is it's a normal thing to do. We honor what the foundation that they have laid, and we call their names. So we have an event coming up called Libation, where they will be honoring more of the community leaders. That's happening this Sunday, June 7th at Restoration. June 7th at
Absolutely.
Restoration, 4 p.m. So I want to get into it though, Mr. Pilar. Should I call you Blue? Um,
You can call me Blue.
I
Yes.
can call you
And
Blue.
and again, I want to remind you
Hmm.
that you already are getting into it. You've gotten into it.
Hmm.
It's almost like you rolled out the carpet, the unfurling of the carpet. Now we standing on the carpet and we're about to fly.
Hmm.
We're standing on the backs. Those ancestors that you just mentioned, there's many
Hmm.
names that I know in the pantheons of names that were mentioned. And the demonstration of their strength was the unity at festival in some of these communities that needed that at the times that they needed it the most. These were
Hmm.
elders that showed up and personified strength at a time when our community was being weak. It was on its knees, it was crawling, and
Exactly.
these were giants. So these festivals are passing of the baton, mementos to hold that charge. And we're standing in the shadow of giants that stood on those streets and really
Ashe.
put in revolutionary work. So
Hmm.
yes, let's continue from there.
Exactly. Exactly. And you mentioned the word revolution, these were revolutionaries. These people that we called were revolutionaries. They're part of the Black Power movement, and really put their lives on the line to make sure that our people understood their culture, understood, their history, created independent schools, independent school curriculums to make sure that the next generation knew who we were and were empowered. And so here we are, in my African attire. I feel empowered, you know for who I am, and we want to make sure that the next generation feels that as well. But I have you on, brother, because you wear many hats. You are a scholar. You're an educator, you're an entrepreneur, you're an innovator. And which of these identities came first? Can I?
I think again, like the unfurling of the carpet that I was speaking about earlier,
Mhm.
all of them were furled up into me as a whole, and at different points and times, different aspects of myself came to the forefront to express what was going on in that particular moment. Um, in this case, I'm also a historian, a custodian of information because I carry the memories, because I
Mhm.
literally actually was there. International African Arts Festival. I grew up here in
Mhm.
festival. And again, one of the most key observations, especially during a time like this when people are questioning the efficacy of Pan-Africanism or Black nationalism as a unifying force. What I want to say as an eyewitness is for 30 plus years, I attended incident-free events in war zones. And again,
Mhm.
it's only to the testament to the fact that these diminutive, because sometimes these were small ancestors. They were smaller, but they were giants, and they were well
Mhm.
respected in the community. And their work in these events represented pauses and junctions of time when nonsense was going on around it. Those were
Mhm.
protected areas. These were
Mhm.
enclosures and encapsulations of potent ancestral ashe. And ashe is
Ashe.
only work from the work done and the consecration of the work done. When community came together, they brought protection bubbles in those communities.
Mhm.
And as a developing youth that had the um I had the benefit of growing up in a cultural environment. My mother met Dr. Sabi in 1980 and became one of his main students. So I grew up around
Mhm.
that entire um, ecological system that people are now
Mhm.
speaking about.
That
It was a
wellness
handful of
community.
people that was involved with that. They could fit in the back of a pinto. And I was
Mhm.
one of me and my brother just happened to be one of them. So I benefited from proximity to being around that environment where
Mhm.
militant, melanated people were doing things without no permission from the colonizer. And they were
Exactly.
doing it effectively. Everything and every day was revolutionary because it was out. You was drawing outside of the lines. So
Mhm.
that's the environment that I grew up in. But I also
Mhm.
was tethered close enough to the streets that I knew that there was an entire economy taking place on the street level, and it came with
Mhm.
consequences. And I lived in a war zone. So I knew the contrast between the two. So when I ended up in safe spaces, I knew that I was safe, and I knew that there was a reason that I was safe. And I knew that that
Mhm.
reason was the strength that I should gravitate towards, because that's where the real strength was at. Because outside of those events, you wouldn't be safe in the community doing anything else. It all brought
Mhm.
negative consequences with it. But when we got together and unified as family, when it was festivity time, when the drums came out, when the children were in the park, yeah, there were incidents. I remember scares, and there would be little stampedes, but it never materialized into anything real in comparison to the things that were going on in the community 24/7 outside of festival.
Exactly. Exactly. And people, everyone that comes on speaks to that energy, speaks to that,
Right.
love vibration and how powerful it really is. I mean, one artisan said that, the vibration of love at festival is so high. He's like, there's nothing comparable to it. And we that participate in it don't realize it because we're so encapsulated with it. It's when you go out and go to other festivals around the world that you see that,
Right.
nothing really compares to that high vibration that happens at festival.
Yes. So not
Mhm.
only am I a historian in the regards of the fact that I've attended events and festivals in this community since the 90s, and then my mother telling me about, and then my family being directly, connected to the origins of this festival by way of my godfather, Basea Muchawi.
Mm,
I also have traveled around the country, and I'm part of a wider vendor network and market. So, like you said, vendors I know go around the world doing this.
mhm,
They go to all of the melanated indigenous places in the six diaspora, like
mhm,
around the world. And nothing compares to what we have. And like you said, we're so encapsulated that we don't recognize and realize the enthusiasm that the brothers from the continent have just to come to get a
mhm,
slice of their culture by way of us that they get to bear witness to take back to where they from, or take
Mm-hmm.
that energy and run around the country, you know what I'm saying? Because they got
Mm-hmm.
charged up on the Brooklyn grid. We don't understand what that's about
Mm-hmm.
because we are immersed in it. I'm in Atlanta now. There's a strong community that are down here. You know, some of us again remember, and we would always come back for festival, regardless of what we're
Mm-hmm.
doing. You know, I've even juggled between this and Essence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just to make sure I get back to festival at least one day, and get to share in that plasma field.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You get
Mm-hmm.
that spider web on you just to be like, I got
Just
that
gotta
silky
feel it
web
like,
on. I did,
wow.
even if I just did a day, I
Mm-hmm.
still check. And then you part of that web again. To me, you know, and it might not mean as much to anybody else, but they have to understand, you know, Commodore Barry Park, cross street from Fort Greene, when Fort Greene was really Fort Greene. No incidents. You know what I'm saying? Fulton Ave, when it was boys and girls, no incidents. You know
Right
what I'm
up the
saying?
street,
Like,
right next to Smurf Village. Like, no
right,
incident.
yeah. So no, it's
Mm-hmm.
so there's a real energy there, and it moves like a bubble. It's been 30 plus. It has a lot of ashe in it,
55
and
years.
so
55
I'm,
years. Mm-hmm.
huh? But
I
yeah,
said 55 years.
55 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of that is tethered and connected to our ancestors, whether they're here in the physical or not. Especially as long as you mention their names the way that you do, because
Mm-hmm.
you know, festival is opened by a tent that's dedicated to the ancestors. That's the mouth that
Mm-hmm.
encapsulates is the opening of the way of festival. So these festivals are consecrated and set up in the way in which our ancestors are honored, which charges the community, which charges the land underneath the community, which charges
So,
the city that the community belongs to. And right now, with New York going through this energetic resurgence of its identity, we need not forget the impact that cultural institutions in Brooklyn, Harlem, and the Bronx play. And festival is where the hearts and the minds of those people who do those hard jobs and those hard works and all of that heavy lifting throughout the rest of the days of the year, that's where they coalesce. That's where they
that's
come
right.
to lick wounds. That's where they
Mm-hmm.
come to keep score, like, yo, how's such and such doing? We need more reinforcements over here. And then you
Mm-hmm.
get ready for Black August. You know what I'm saying? When
Mm-hmm.
you got to do things necessary for the comrades, you know, because you got to get ready for cold winters in America. So
Yep.
again, it's a process and procedure of how family checks in, why they check in,
Mm-hmm.
and when they check in. It also happens during July 4th, and people have their feelings about what that celebrates. But as a student of esoteric sciences and metaphysics, I also understand that that's our alignment to Sirius. So where there's congregation of melanated body, conscientious melanated bodies, those bodies are going to be more receptive to the energy coming from what the Masons call the blazing star, which is Sirius, which is
Okay. Pause.
Offset, which is our
Pause.
mother planet.
Because you going esoterical.
Oh, I'm
What
sorry.
we gotta slow it down for the youngers that don't understand. So you
Okay, yeah, let's
said
walk it back.
during that time of July 4th weekend is the time of Sirius, the
Yes,
the planetary alignment. And
yes,
that is a time that we are magnified. Why? Can you break that down for me?
yes. So the way that the country was consecrated, right, on July 4th, this is a period in the cosmos during Cancer when the planet is perfectly aligned with the constellation of Sirius.
Okay.
Sirius in mythological times is where they said our souls come from. It's the sun behind the sun. They call it the black sun. It's the mother sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where they say melanated people get their soul from. It comes from Sirius. The dog star is what they call it. They also call it Auset. They call it Sothis in Greek, but it's Auset in Kemet. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
feminine energy. It's Big Mama, right? Big Mama
Mm-hmm.
is aligned 2 times with this country or with this planet specifically. December 31st / January 1st, when they drop the big ball in Times Square,
Mm-hmm.
it's when the star is the highest, right? So Sirius is the brightest star in our sky
Mm-hmm.
when we see it,
Yeah.
the dog star. So the ball is dropping at midnight, but it's really, it's the opposite. You're supposed to be looking up at the star and because it
Observing.
start this, but yeah, observing it represents regenerations, renewal, and resets. This is
Mm-hmm.
why they hoist it as the new year because they're paying homage to your ancestors. And then on July 4th, this country was consecrated and founded when Sirius was perfectly aligned with it, and the womb
Mm-hmm.
of Sothis or Set was wide open again because we don't want to see it as something that's done paying homage to our ancestors. Masons and people who are cosplaying as your ancestors are tugging on that energy, and they call the star masonry the blazing star. And they're extrapolating all of this revolutionary, independent energy from this particular star and utilizing that for their agenda, power up their intentions. And we are busy with fireworks, the what they call the lesser lights,
Mm-hmm.
while they are focusing on the greater lights.
So our our festival is really a charging experience all the
Yes.
way across the board.
Yeah, right. So unconscious to us,
Mm-hmm.
mama's children are gathered as family because the beautiful thing about international arts is that people from all different denominations, all schools of thoughts. Brooklyn is a melting pot for the, school of consciousness. All of the
Mm-hmm.
different avenues lead
All the
to
religious
wherever
societies.
we congregate. So
Mm-hmm.
we're all under the glory of mama when she shows up as her children. And I've had some powerful experiences being conscious of that
Mm-hmm.
alignment with brothers and sisters at this event, totally charged up. The drums come out because festival breakdown at 9. I've been there after 9,
Of
when
course,
when
of
when,
course,
when the
of
real
course.
work starts and we under them stars and them stars start moving in our favor and showing their signs and not to get spooky with
Mm-hmm.
nobody. But if we're gonna be ancestral, let's be ancestral. If we're gonna be about our ancestors, let's be about them. And we're surrounded
Mm-hmm.
by them. And,
Mm-hmm.
and festival is when they get to, really enjoy themselves and show themselves with no judgment because
Mm-hmm.
we're having a fun time. We are safe. We're surrounded by our ancestors. We're engaging in commerce, you know what I'm saying? And we're making cultural exchange. And we're also keeping a continuity, a continuum of what I call ancestral acknowledgement, now worship,
Mm-hmm.
continuously going by that baton being passed and that flame being lit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And it's such a collection of all of the different, like, Black historical societies, all of our religious
All of them.
societies. They're
All of them.
all there.
Everybody.
Everybody from, the Hebrew Israelites to the Yoruba to the Akan to the,
To the
Islam,
nation, right? Yeah,
to
everybody
the
there
nation, all of
representing
the different
together.
denominations of the Muslims, just everybody.
Yeah, nobody's
Mm-hmm.
bumping heads. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? The nation is
Mm-hmm.
buying fish from the Sunni. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? The Khan
Mm-hmm.
is buying pans from the Europe. I mean, it's
And the
it,
Christian church, you know.
and the church is coming through there and getting their relics. They getting
Mm-hmm.
their extra sweet iced tea. They getting their watermelons. And everyone is cool. No one's complaining
Mm-hmm.
about what they didn't get, or them people is over there
Mm-hmm.
getting some, or the Jamaicans are getting coconuts and mangoes. No one is complaining. Everyone
No
gets
one.
their fair share.
Mhm. Exactly. And
Everyone,
it, it,
the house music is playing over there, but then they got the reggae playing over there. You know what I'm saying? The hip hop is
mhm.
job medicine and them got it around the corner. And this
Yep.
village. And
Mhm.
we always say yo, what if we, take a snapshot of this and just do this 365? And we always ask each other, why not?
Mm,
Why is festival always the lightning bug in the bottle? You know what I'm saying? Why is it always so
mhm.
fleeting? But when it's here, it's magical. So I do everything in my power, regardless of where I'm at on the planet, again, to make sure I touch grass at least one day at a festival,
Mhm.
to pour into that pot. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Well,
So
we
that's
appreciate
why this
you.
is important to me.
Mhm.
And that's why, again, as a witness, I wanted to share my testimony of how important it is and why I feel that, yes, more the youth especially should know about what this means and why it means.
Exactly. Thank you, and we appreciate you. We have about 1 minute. I think we're 3 minutes to our recap. Okay, so I just want everyone to know that festival will be in a new location this year. We're going to be at Lincoln Terrace Park. And when we come back from our recap, we will talk more about what Brother Blue will be bringing to festival this year. So I will pass the baton over to our producer, Beware, so he can do our recap. We're going to recap for Festival 54. Woo! The excitement. That was like thousands of people in the audience just now. So
Oh,
that was
oh,
Festival 54 last year with Asase Ya bringing the excitement on the stage. And just piggybacking off of the level of energy that exists at festival, the excitement, the love, the vibrations. So we are back with Brother Blue Pilar talking
pillar.
about Pillar. Sorry, Pillar.
It's okay.
Pillar. Pill. Can I just say blue pill?
You can as well. That
Yeah,
works
thank you. Thank
just
you.
as well.
But you are a serial entrepreneur and your focus is wellness and health.
Yeah,
Um,
yes.
can you um, can you expand upon what you're bringing to festival this year?
This year, I will be expanding on a new business model that I've introduced. It's called Farmy Organics. And
Mm-hmm.
Farmy is a company that we developed that's focused on micro farming,
Mm,
showing people how to utilize means and methods to turn their living rooms into living rooms rooms full of living plant-based nutrients.
Mm,
So I've been micro farming microgreens, also mushroom farming indoors and outdoors. I've started engaging in bee farming. So I'm a honey vendor.
mm,
I have specialty honeys that I'll be bringing to the community: sunflower honey, elderberry honey, buckwheat honey, and linden honey. All of these are medicinal honeys. And,
mm,
I grew up under the premise of healers that always told me bitter was better. And we're here
mhm,
to challenge that premise and give people the sweetness of what healing feels like again.
mhm.
And it's just so much more of an engagement point. The children love it, the women love it. You know what I'm saying? And the brothers can't complain as long as you cross those boxes. It's an all around great product. We also have
Mhm.
a
Yeah,
tea
we
that we've
love
been working
honey.
with out of China
Mhm.
called Jagulan. Gynostemma pentaphyllum is the Latin name of this herb. Immortality herb is the name of it in English. And it's been working wonders with our clients with high blood pressure, diabetes, sickle cell, things of that
Mm.
nature.
Sickle
So,
cell.
yeah, the things that impact people out the most in the community that we'll be representing and presenting in, which is Lincoln Terrace. I'm very familiar with the demographics of that area. I lived in that area. I know what the people are suffering from in that area. And I know where the disparities exist in that area. I spent the summer in that specific area last summer when I was up in New York. And
Mm,
my entry point was coming up to Venn for International African Arts last year. And I stayed for the whole summer because I realized there was a changing dynamic in the city. And I wanted
mhm,
to really get a finger on the pulse of it. Now I know that there's a fitness resurgence in the city of New York.
mm,
New York Knicks, the sports is a resurgence. The children are going to be outside this summer. They're going to be active. They're going to be in the parks. They're going to be looking to engage. This is a wonderful time for the cultural community, the conscious healing community, to build a bridge to the New York street fitness community who have an encampment in Lincoln Terrace by way of the workout park that's in there. I want to
okay.
help build that bridge during festival so they can be familiar with the vendors that have um, good products for their nutritional needs. And I want to make sure the vendors know about these sponsors or these influencers, if you will, they can be
Mhm,
utilized to help their brands get to wider markets. We have to network and build bridges. And this is
mhm,
a wonderful opportunity. This community that Lincoln Terrace is encamped in will benefit so much just from the ancestral dances and the drummings and the call and response and just festival being in the backyard of where carnival takes place. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
And a few months
Mhm,
from that. So just drawing that crowd that they probably had no idea that this event takes place because they don't lead a community. A lot of people have never been to Commodore Barry Park.
mhm,
They just know about the legend of boys and girls, but they've never left their communities. So the convergence of now where Lincoln Terrace is at, it could draw people from East New York, Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, Prospect Park, Flatbush, you know what I'm saying, the
yep.
90s
It's a
and beyond. So I'm excited for festival. I'm excited for the new location. I'm excited for the new energy. I'm excited for the new impact. I'm excited for the new faces and tastes and public places that will get an opportunity to see how we show up as community.
hmm I think it's profound that you were called to that particular area last year. Almost like, Spirit was preparing you for what is to
Yes,
come this year. So you
yes,
already,
and
have scoped the
yeah,
scene and know
I
what to
literally,
apply.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to me, it became a personal developmental pilgrimage literally to that park where
Mm,
I would be in that park 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. I would meet with fitness coaches and different peers to work on personal fitness developments.
mm,
Because I just crossed the rubrics of 50 and I'm an elite athlete. I'm in the 1 percentile of my age group in terms
mm-hmm,
of my my body composition and the strength indexes, things that I've been able to do, reverse my aging. I'm strong as an ox. I'm getting better daily. And it's just by once again demonstrating I'm a product of the product. I've
Mm-hmm.
been on Sabi products for 45 years of my life. You know, my mother was his number one student. There's no
Mm-hmm.
reason that we should not be acing the exam, you know, but I can show
Exactly.
you better than I can tell you. So
Mm-hmm.
it's incumbent on me to carry the torch and live the life and become a product of the product to inspire others to say, man, we could reverse age and we could beat death. Or at least we could push it
Mm-hmm.
back to a corner somewhere. There's no reason that these technocrats should be taking our ancient, antiquated sciences of zeros and ones, and now they're creating all of these things, but you can't tap into your ancestral intelligence and do the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. It's incumbent on you to make a quantum leap right now.
Ashe.
And we need these institutions to remind ourselves of the strength of our ancestors or to create spaces for our ancestors to be felt and heard
Mhm.
because it's calling upon us. You know, that humanity is undergoing a great beckoning and a calling forward, you know, to transform. And I just really have learned in my spiritual education that transformation does not take place outside of festivity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the true
Transformation does
medicine.
not take place outside of festivity.
Mm,
We're going to get back to that. Hold
yes.
that thought. I just want to acknowledge the International African Arts Festival is in its 55th year, and we're going to be at Lincoln Terrace Park this year from July 3rd through the 5th at Lincoln Terrace Park in Brooklyn at our new location. And just to give some highlights, we are beginning our festivities with the event Libations. Libations is where we really honor our community leaders, our freedom fighters. It will be held at Restoration at the Billie Holiday Theater this Sunday, June 7th at 4 p.m. from 4 to 8. And also, as we are highlighting the energy of festival, we are highlighting the importance of this gathering that happens every year for 55 years. We have a drive for 55 that we are wanting to support this organization and to make sure that it is sustained. So there are ways that you can donate in denominations of 55 honoring the 55th year. It's called the Drive for 55. You can, there are links on our website, iaafestival.org. You can text to give. Our telephone number is 917 268 1562 or 1592. Actually, where you can text again, it's 917 268 1592. Where you can text the word give to the International African Arts Festival. And then you can also become a cultural steward member where you donate on a consistent basis to maintain this nonprofit organization, this nonprofit cultural institution that harbors this energy of 5 generations of Black unity, of culture, and Black empowerment. So thank you. IAAfestival.org. And back to you, Brother Blue as a entrepreneur, as a advocate for wellness, as a protege of Dr. Sebi. I just have to say I'm also a protege of Dr. Sebi. In a way, my parents actually housed his first office back in the day, in the 80s, and I witnessed the phenomena of him healing people coming into his
Yeah.
office one way and a couple of months later seeing their
But
transformation.
are you
you
talking
know
about on Pacific Avenue?
I am talking about on Vanderbilt. I think it was on
Yeah.
Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm.
That was your folks?
That was my folks.
Oh wow. See how the small world. Salute to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my mother tells me stories because she had to deal with the brother that was the landlord of the building.
Mm.
But they gave them that opportunity. And like you said, I just got so used to seeing people come in there sick and then they come back 2 weeks later and then They not sick no more. And I'd be like, and I just seen this up so many times that
Mm-hmm.
it's so normalized to me that I'm like, are y'all saying that he don't do this stuff? Because I'm like, he actually was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
I knew
there's
enough as a child to know that these people were totally like being forthright.
well, I can say he has a good rap and a bad rap at the same time. There's people that were really healed, and then there was people that got messed up at the same time.
Hmm.
And I think that what he would say is that, your healing journey is a spiritual process. And if you don't embrace the metaphysical side of your healing, you could get caught up because, it's whole body transformations.
About transformation. And
Hmm.
yes, and that's only fair to acknowledge that there was healing done, and then there was also people that were not able to be healed. And then
Hmm.
if if you can't catch somebody, because you're not determined. Again, it's the paradigm of what we consider to be a healer. A healer is
Hmm.
a helper. You know, the herbs are not even healing the person. The person's body's healing itself with the assistance
Hmm.
of the herbs that are assisted by the helper. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
We know there's also a spiritual component. So you can't pull everybody back from the cycle of, you know, spinning that they spiraling that they
Evolution.
have already been engaged in.
Hmm.
Everyone is not meant to be pulled back from that brink. And
Hmm.
then the quote unquote healer gets blamed for, places where they should not be interfering to begin with, even though you
Hmm.
feel that everybody's worthy of healing, quote unquote. Some
Exactly.
things your hand is not called to interfere with.
Hmm.
And then and
Exactly.
then and then again, and it's a discipline system. You don't know what people do when they leave you.
Yep, exactly. That everything is what we say, everything in divine order, right?
Mhm.
We don't know everyone's fate. All we can do is try and to assist them with their own
Yeah,
independent journey.
I,
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the most forthright people, out of our circle when it comes to being demystifying of the mythos of Dr. Sebi, where I tell people very forthright that he was a man and he made mistakes, just like all men do, and there was nothing perfect about him,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not to be dismissive of his contribution and his great works, but also not to be dismissive of things that he may have gotten wrong or came up short with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's just important that we all know that, what I'm saying, we we all deserve healing, and healing is accessible to any and everyone willing to do the work.
Mm-hmm. Willing to do the work. Can you
Mhm.
tell me about your more about your journey with these workouts, the street calisthenics that you engaged in, and you said you call it a movement, actually. Um,
Yes. Um, Street calisthenics, ironically, in that park of Lincoln Terrace, that's something that I was doing all the way back in like '05, '06. I used to
mhm,
live on East 94th and Clarkson, which is right up the block from Lincoln Terrace. So I would populate that park frequently around those times, all the way
mhm,
around up to 2018. And came to Atlanta around 2019, but on or around those times leading up to 2020, there was a street fitness movement, people coming home from incarceration, and also
mm,
people in the streets who wanted to not go to the gym, but engage in outdoor street calisthenics. And Lincoln Terrace was one of the epicenters in Brooklyn of where those congregations were taking place. And then those
mm,
congregations started turning to competitions in the competitive field of
mm,
what they were doing with street calisthenics. Then the internet started kicking in and became a global phenomenon. And
Mm,
now it's at a place where, a lot of the youth in the streets of New York, as well as globally, their different counterparts in different cities, they are engaging in high level street calisthenics that's turning into competition that ultimately will become a very lucrative form of fitness competition for them. So it's
mm,
a genre that's building up. It's centered around, the youth, it's centered around music, it's centered around health and wellness, centered around fitness. And also, this is gang remediation. A lot of people who are doing this were in gangs at one point. They're not
mm,
necessarily bringing gang mentality to fitness, but it is to them, reminiscent of the structure, the organization, the discipline, what I'm
mm,
saying, and brotherly bonding that they may have been familiar with in those settings when they was looking for comrades in the street.
mm.
Again, to
Wow.
me, it's interesting because it always leads back to health. That when they start working out and they start feeling change, next thing you know, they're drinking Seymour's or they're on their
Mhm,
watermelon, right? They
mhm,
understand now these conversations are a lot easier for them to have because they're the ones being inquisitive. They want to
mhm,
know how to make their bodies feel great. They want to look great. They want to feel great. And they want to be involved with doing great things. And I think
mm,
that to me, mentally, that's a paradigm shift.
mhm.
Um,
It really is.
because in the streets of New York, again, the children are watching this, they're looking at, and they're also telling them there's no shortcuts. Like you can't be lit in this world if you don't do the work. And the
Mhm,
work is excessive. And in order to do excessive work, that's tantamount to the fact that you are showing up and you're showing discipline and you can't be disciplined without showing consistency. And you can't
mhm,
be consistent, what I'm saying, without being in contact some way with a spiritual grounding or a
mm,
spiritual foundation. So at the end of the day, these are the people that we are building that will be closer to being spiritual custodians or the ones disciplined enough to know that they have to carry something that might be too heavy for the average person. But
mm,
they've been conditioning their bodies to carry heavy weight. They don't know what yet the assignment may ultimately be, but
mhm,
in a quantum sense, this might be where the introduction is made. This might be where the seed is planted. This
mhm,
might be where the bridge is built. So again, I'm excited for the festival. I'm excited for the relocation. I'm excited for the prime real estate of the relocation. I really want
mhm,
all organizers, participants, vendors, merchants, attendees to embrace it and to promote it
mhm,
and to look at it as a new life, but a much needed one at a new time when what better can happen for the city but to
mhm.
already build on the good cultural ashe that is being created around congregating around sports activities, the sports
Mhm,
culture.
mhm. Exactly. You're speaking. I usually ask this question, like, what is the evolution of the revolution? And
Yes.
I find that what you are saying is an evolvement of it because you spoke about a rehabilitation of organization, of discipline, of fitness, of wellness, of health, where, the average youth that wouldn't be interested and it is pulled into it from a street culture, and
Right. I
that.
mean, our elders is going out bad. The street revolutionaries that have lived to be prime ages, they're succumbing to, you know, to poor health, and they're ending up in the hands of the very system that they've utilized their entire career to chastise and castigate. And these
Mhm,
butchers can't wait to get them in their hands, and they're going out
mhm,
bad, and it's embarrassing almost. So these are the things that make the youths not take the elders seriously and be like, I'm not carrying that baton. I'm not walking in that path. Yo, he went out bad. You know what I'm saying? These
mhm,
are the areas that need to be fixed and patched up. Nobody's gonna lead someone who can't lead them up a mountain physically and literally. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
The revolution has to go through an evolution. And if it's gonna be you know, tethered in militants, then the people gotta look like they belong to the military.
Shay. Not Shay. Well, folks, can you like? Can you comment? Can you subscribe to Voices of
Yeah.
Festival? That's what we're doing right now. We're putting our voice in the ethers about festival, about the importance of festival, about the energy of festival, the power of
Yeah.
festival, the power of communing and coming together. So please like, comment, subscribe, share, and let us know your thoughts on what the evolution of the revolution really is. But what Brother Blue Pill is talking about is like we're building soldiers. We're building, an
Right.
army with and people who are strong-minded, strong-willed, disciplined, through street calisthenics. I'm gonna get into it because I will admit I can't do a pull-up and I need to figure
It's,
it out.
yeah. And
Can't
it's
do a
okay.
pull-up.
And that becomes your breakthrough moment. That becomes, the small goals that lead to large goals.
Mhm.
I helped my wife with her first pull up, and it was a whole emotional thing,
Mm.
'cause, you know, y'all are listening to your body and saying, I don't think I could do this. But I could look at the structure and I could look at your propensity to either hold your weight or pull yourself just close enough to be like, you could get it. You can get
Mhm.
it. You know what I'm saying? You're getting in your way.
Mhm.
And then once we help you get out of your way, you see that you can do it. Once one turns to two, it's a multiplier. Two gonna turn to four, four gonna turn to eight, and so on and so forth. And this is how we build people and build their confidence and get them in contact with themselves,
Sure.
But I know where it starts from, and I know where the reservations are at. But allow us to help yourself, and then you'll be qualified to help other people, and that's how
Sure.
we build a nation.
Mhm. Ashe. Thank you. Well,
Thank you.
Blue, I look forward to seeing you down at festival.
Yes.
This year, July 3rd through the 5th. We will be at Lincoln Terrace
Yeah.
Park. um, for our 55th
Yeah.
year,
Yes.
honoring our ancestors, honoring our community leaders, and getting fit. I
Yeah.
wish our Baba Adiemi Bandeli was on because he's always talking about the importance of men's health. And this year it seems like the younger generation is going to be putting the older generation on. Like, y'all need
Yeah.
to get it together with your fitness. Come on.
Yeah. We need to talk about
Put
mental
it.
health. We need to talk about
Mm-hmm.
physical health.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm quoting 30 years of festival, that's how many years that I've been attending. But my mother will be in the building. She could vouch maybe for all 55. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And my whole family will be there. And again, as a product of the product, just to show you that there's efficacy in choosing health and there is light at the end of the tunnel. And the conversation around longevity is one that's literally just beginning because of where science is going. And I
Sure.
don't mean artificial science, I mean you coming into the full knowledge of the power that you have with this quantum crystal that you got called melanin,
Mm-hmm.
and just doing the right things that are necessary to preserve it, supercharge it, and activate it. So there's a lot of excitement around the new paradigm of where health and nutrition, fitness and wellness is going. And we need
Mm-hmm.
to be the face of that rather than the face of comorbidity, rather than the face of, every degeneracy that comes around that they put a
Sure.
new name to. They want to slap our face on it. You know, let's be the face once again of ancestral intelligence,
Sure.
utilizing the things that our people already did to preserve life, extend life, heal themselves,
Mm-hmm.
tap into their internal fountain of youth and come up with solutions to these problems that, the only reason that you here is to solve problems. That's why you got a brain. So it's time to use it.
Definitely. And we're not just here to solve problems. We're here to enjoy life.
Yes,
We're here
yes,
to express.
yes.
We're here to really enjoy
Right,
this planet while we're here.
right.
Can can you explain maybe just 3 tips on how we can crystallize our melanin? Can you expand on it?
Yes. Um, Three very key things that need to be done. We need to understand what the circadian rhythm is about, right? Because
Mhm.
your body is going to release melatonin when the light cycles change. If we are on these screens all night, if the blue light is in our eyes, it's telling our body the sun is still out. So
Mhm.
our melatonin is not released. We can't supercharge our melanin if we're working against it, right? So that's one. Two would
One.
be to hydrate ourselves with the proper amount of water and the proper kind of water. H3O. There's a hydrogen-based water that's called structured water,
Mm.
right? That's kind of the water that we need to be looking in that our body absorbs and can utilize to reorganize itself. So that's two. Three would be once you get those faculties and factors down, waking up
Mhm.
with the sun and sun gazing before the hours of 10 a.m., right?
Mhm.
Supercharged with your foot on the grass. You need to get yourself on land so you can tap into the electromagnetic current of the planet and you are absorbing sunlight through your iris, which is
Mhm.
activating enzymes inside of your brain, just washing your brain. It's supercharging your melanin. It's also putting you into theta state, which is like being in the zone. All
Mm.
of these things, and then your melanin almost becomes magnetized. And this is the when you're in sync all day, you're attracting things to you, and you like, man, everything is just falling on key and on note because
Mhm.
your melanin is activated and it's magnetized and it's pulling everything to you, and you are just like in the quantum soup of the now moment.
Mm.
And
Mm.
really, this when you talking about, yeah, I got that melanin magic, yeah, it's lit. You out
No,
here showing out. You garden in real time. You know, you got
these are the
sparkles
ways.
coming off you. And
Mhm.
that's what I be seeing at festival when that music come on and people lose themselves and they in the zone and that melanin is
Mhm.
bouncing off of everybody and it's just
Yeah.
peace. Because once
Mhm.
again, their parasep their paraset parasympathetic nervous system is
Mm.
comforted. It feels safe. You can let your guard down. Even the police let their hair down at the International Arts Festival. That's where they go to get zen. That's where they go to kick
Mhm.
it back because they know that they ain't got to be grabbing their strap and looking after their back. I'm trying to
That's
tell you,
true.
they tell us this is where they go to let their hair down and they be in the
Mhm.
cut listening to the music and just chilling. And nowadays they probably get a puff or two.
Mhm. Because we do have our own security system as well.
Yeah, we got our it's internalized. We got our own security
Mhm.
system and it has not failed us. Right. So if
Mhm.
you want to see people be free,
Till this
you know,
day.
bump this conversation about people talking about whether we was here or whether we came. No, you want to see people like African and village having community festivity, being freed up. Come to the International Arts Festival. You ain't gonna see, you gonna see their ancestors
Shay.
mounting their body, utilizing them for ceremony. That's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see
Yep.
festival. You're gonna see the magic of festival. You're gonna see things you probably can't believe with your own 2 eyes. But seeing is believing. So you got to be there. Don't be square. Make sure that you show up.
Shay.
Lincoln Terrace this year,
Third to
55.
the fourth.
Come
Mhm.
alive. New York City is already gonna be lit. Win or lose. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? It's up from here.
Mhm.
So let's get on that grid. It's less than a month away. Countdown has begun. Let's hit the
Shay.
money shot, y'all.
Yes. Support festival. Drive for
Support
55.
festival. Yes.
IAAfestival.org. You can find all the links. Text to give 917-268-1592. And thank you, brother. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Where can we
Appreciate
find
you as
you
well.
online?
Yes, Farmy Organics is the name of the company. FARMY Organics, ORGANICS.com. I believe that's organics.com, Farmy Organics. And
Okay.
at Blue Pillar 44 on social media, you can check me out on all of those sites. X, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook is Paul Marlin, but the rest of those other handles is at Blue Pillar. And our YouTube channel is Know the Ledge Media and Know the Ledger 444. They're like both of the same type of sites. Got all our content all the
Mm-hmm.
way back from 2008. We've been on YouTube forever.
Ashe. Yes. Thank you,
Okay.
brother. We appreciate you. We're gonna close out. I'd like you to stay afterwards so we can recap. But thank you to everyone for coming on and to witness the essence of what festival really is, the International African Arts Festival. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at IAA Festival and at IAAFestival.org. Thank you and good night.
Yes, I should.